Hey everybody, it's Prince's friend, and I am here again with another cool top 10 for everybody, but I guess it's top 5, so I should probably say that instead. But we are going to have 10 songs because this time I actually have an amazing Prince YouTuber who I've talked about several times on my channel, and she is here to join me for this top 5. I have Peace Love here with me. Say hello.
Hi. Hey, Prince Peace. How are you today? Glad to be here.
And if you guys aren't subscribed to her channel, you totally need to be. She's not only has amazing videos on there, and she's got some cool tributes, and she does like pop quizzes and stuff. Like I don't ever like, stuff I would never do. She's revealed to me a little bit about what's upcoming, so you guys are want to be a part of that, definitely. So what we're here today to do is our top 5 choices for Prince's funkiest songs. I'm excited about this list. I have a really cool list, in my opinion, obviously. So what we're going to do is I want to ask you first, Peace Love, what defines a funky song to you?
Okay, right off start, something that I can't help but to move to. No matter what mood you're in, if you put it on, you cannot help but to move to it. It's got the funky bass line, the skins are popping, just everything. You just cannot help but to move. That's a funky song to me.
For me, I look at it a little bit more technical, but it's actually very similar to what you just said, where usually for me, a really funky song is one that has a really good beat, and it's got a prominent bass line. And usually, like, the guitar is it's usually just like a scratch guitar. And occasionally there'll be the addition of some keyboards to add a little bit more of a dance effect to it. That was actually one of the cool things about Prince, though, was that he did a lot of infusing funk into the music. So there would be a rock funk, a dance funk, and he would have funk in like everything. So that was what was really cool about him. And then of course, then he had his songs that were just straight up funk, which were always also great.
Yeah, that's what made this so hard to narrow it down to 5. Because everything is funky in its own way. I mean, even some of the slow songs can be funky, you know? So when you normally think of a funky song, you think it's some upbeat, you think it's something, but really with Prince, it could even be a slow song that has that funk going on in it, So yeah, this was a hard one.
It really was. And what I found is that most of my selections were from later in his career. Like at the beginning, he was a lot more rock and pop focused, and then he kind of started giving into his funkness later on, like a lot more. So let's go ahead and get started. What would be your number 5 pick for funkiest Prince track?
Okay, let me specify. These aren't really in no particular order because they're all funky in their own way.
Okay.
Speaking of when he started to come into his like funk, I'm gonna go with Housequake.
Oh, there's a brand new groove going round in your funky town, and the kick drum is the fault. You gotta rock this mother set. We gotta rock this mother set. We gonna show you.
That just rocked it. You just went from everything he was doing, and then Housequake came out, and it was like, what? Like dun 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 dun. It just blew my mind. So I'm gonna start it off with Housequake. I'm gonna start it with Housequake.
I would say that it's definitely got the funk in it. It's got the horns, and it's not only a song that makes you want to dance, but he tells you exactly how to dance to it. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you what to do. Put your foot down on the 2, jump up on the 1. Now you're having fun. Yes, okay, good. I got it. I knew I would remember it eventually. That's a good choice because Sign of the Times 2 actually didn't have that many like super funky songs on it. It was a lot more, kind of pop and rock driven, but that is definitely one of those.
Yeah.
Definitely has that funk element to it. So that's a really good choice. I will say my list is in order. So I actually went from 5 to 1. It's cool that yours isn't, but I obviously have my favorites here. My number 5 is DMSR. And you know, the reason that it even popped up on my list was because I recently saw a live performance of DMSR on YouTube, which of course I'm sure is completely illegal. But I saw the live performance, and it was from the Musicology tour. It was interesting because kind of broken down a little bit more, you could hear just how funky this song was. So I actually went back and listened to the whole 1999 album this week, just kind of listened to it all week. And yeah, it's a really funky song. It's got, and honestly for this one, this one is funky because of the bass line.
Yeah.
You know, it goes, bang, 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 bang. You know, it's just like, it's like really prominent and strong. And it's just it's such an amazing song. Yeah.
Speaking of bass line, that would take me to my number 4 on my list.
Uh-oh.
Super funky califragisexy.
If your body needs water, keep dense, cause you ought to keep the blood flowing down to your feet. Brother Maurice will be round in a minute with a bucket filled in it. Squirrel meat. The blood real good if you drink it real fast, but the aftertaste just lasts and lasts. So if you kiss somebody, you wanna party all night. Alright! Super funky califragisexy.
That bass line in there, the bass line in there is so poppin'. Like, yeah, so that, when you said bass line, I'm like, yeah, that brings me right to my number 4, because that bass line just, oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's amazing.
No, and yeah. Super Funkacalifragisexy. It's so funny. We have to say the whole name every time. It is also one of those songs that really gets you wanting to move and dance. DMSR's like that, yeah. and this one's like that. So yeah, it's a really good choice. Definitely. Honestly, the whole Black album, the Black album as a whole, actually had a lot of really funky stuff on it. Yeah, like Two Nigs United for West Compton was really good. Yeah, that's a really good choice.
LeGrind,
LeGrind, exactly.
Yeah. It speaks for itself.
I would agree. My number 4 is actually Old School Company.
Look out. Every once in a while, you need some old school company. Somebody that appreciates a sexy groove and an old school melody. When God, His Son, and the love of family, building a community. It's on just
it's off of MPLS Sound. MPL Sound. MPLS Sound? It's weird because it's MPLS
like Minneapolis.
Yeah, right, like exactly. So yeah, that one's off of MPLS Sound, and it's like that song is again, like that one actually is a lot like a really good beat, but that one is really cool too because not only is it, you know, get on the floor and dance, but it's got like a political message to it, which I really love. You know, one of my favorite lines on it was, you know, why does the bank get a bailout? 700 million, ain't nothing changed in my neighborhood but the date. You know, so it's like, you know, like that song is just, it's like such a strong song, and yet it's also super funky. It makes you want to like, makes you want to dance, and then you're like, oh, I'm dancing to this kind of depressing song. But it really
had a way of doing that. He had a way of doing that, definitely. Getting the message across while you jam, yes.
Oh yeah. But that was actually a cool thing about funk, though, is that it shares so many elements with blues. You know, so it's like you can take, you know, that funky element and you can add a bluesy element to it, which is, you know, talking about the woes of what's going on in your life, and it fits so well because the two musical, you know, expressions are so similar.
Funky choice, yes. So my turn, okay.
Yes.
Oh, these both are good. I'm gonna go with Like a Mac.
Tall black fashion and the girls are hot. Pick one, come and show
you wanna lie to what's cooking. She's looking like a Mac. Like a Mac.
That was Hit and Run Phase 1, right?
Yes, phase 1. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking over at my yes, phase 1. That's actually that whole CD, like there's some good ones. There's quite a few good ones on there. I was kind of going back and forth with a few on there, but Like a Mac one. So.
And who was the guest vocalist on that one?
Yeah.
I think that's the one with curly fries.
Yes, you're right. Curly fries it is.
I think I just remember like looking at it and going, "That's a funny name for," you know,
right.
Like I don't think if I was ever a performer, I don't think I'd go with curly fries. Maybe that's just like her favorite food or something.
Maybe curly fries it is, but yeah, that is definitely a funky jam. I love that.
No, and that one's cool. And I think the biggest thing that makes that one funky is that one is the one that's got Ida on it. It's got Ida Nielsen on it.
Oh yeah.
And her, oh my gosh, her bass lines are so good. All right, so my number 3 is Family Name.
Mirror, mirror, what you see? Have I still got those dark clouds over me? Or am I really feeling what I feel? The last days of the devil's deal. Oh, mirror, what you see?
And that one's off of Rainbow Children. And this song is, again, it's one of those, it's another political song because I'm into those. But, you know, it's actually kind of all about like, you know, the slavery movement and like the flow of information in our world and like all that stuff. And it's just so awesome. I like the fact that he's singing right to the devil saying, "Get out." You know, it's like,
right.
You know,
bold.
It's just like boom, exactly. So I really, really love this song. Not only is the song itself super funky, but it actually, he sings it like mostly in his falsetto, which is awesome. It also has a really awesome guitar solo. That's not really what we're talking about today, but like it also has an awesome guitar solo. He's got some great screams. Like I think all in all, like that's a really like amazing song that kind of encompasses a lot of what Prince does. You know, he's always, you know, stretching himself musically, but also he's trying to have that message out there, you know, you know, positivity and don't let the man get you down and like all kinds of stuff. It's such a good song.
Yes, I agree on that one. Yeah. I think certain songs like that, they give you a little bit of everything, you know, the message or, you know, it gives you a little bit of everything. So yeah, it makes it even that much greater. But yeah, I totally agree on that one.
So it's your number 2 here.
My number 2 is Feels Good, Feels Better, Feel Wonderful.
Hey, I can tell by the color of your energy field. You thought this game was over chemical peel. You tried to do me like my good brother Steve. But I got another funky trick up my sleeve. Expecting me to freak on you a little bit more.
Okay.
Yes. That is so funky to me. I just, you know me and anybody else that may know who I am. I'm all about that, you know, feeling better. And this song makes me feel better. I don't care what mood I'm in. If something's getting to me, I can put this song on and go from better to good to wonderful. Definitely. This is the one. Nice.
And that one's a really good one. Like for me, like that one and like The Gold Standard, like the two of those songs are pretty similar for me. It would be like if I was to put one on the list, it would be really hard for me to figure to pick between the two of those because they both have that kind of same kind of real good like dance energy, yet it's super funky, and it's got again a really awesome funk bass line because that's honestly what drives a good funk song in my opinion.
Yeah, me too. My opinion too. Yeah.
Well, I mean, but that's why we're lucky that we listen to Prince because it's you know, like if you ever feel down, you just throw on your favorite song and it's over, it's gone. You know,
that's right.
Feel better, feel good, feel wonderful, right?
That's right. All day, all day. You're right.
All day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So my number 2 is Calhoun Square. And for anybody who doesn't know this song, it's not actually one of those like really high profile songs that you would hear. It's off of Crystal Ball. So it was one of those like side project tracks that he didn't end up on an actual album. It just ended up on Crystal Ball, which was a big collection of a bunch of tracks. Like whenever I think of like a funk song, like Calhoun Square usually comes into the atmosphere at least. 'Cause it's just like, it just starts off with like an amazing bass line. I hate to keep like repeating it, but
no, it is. That's funk though. You can't help it. That's funk.
You know, but it's just like it's bass and it's drums, and it's got a really positive message of like be who you are and don't care about what other people are saying. And again, like that's just one of those songs. Plus it goes into, again, because I'm into the guitar too, it goes into a nice guitar solo here and there. He sings it in his falsetto. Like a lot of the same stuff that it came with Family Name came also with Calhoun Square, except less political stuff. It was more just, hey, feel good about yourself and you're accepted here. And that's, you know, that's Prince, which is really awesome. But Calhoun Square, oh my gosh, such a good song, such a good song. You've heard that one before, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, you know what? When you first said it, I'm like, you know, and then you started talking about it more and it came to mind. But yeah, it took me a sec. You know, it is actually one you don't think about on a, you know, just, yeah, but you're right. Yeah, that is a good one. It's definitely a feel good all the way around. Definitely. Yeah. Actually, I'm probably going to put it in after this.
That's a good, I mean, and just so everybody knows, what I try to do is I try to spread the love a little bit in any of my lists. So like, because it was a toss-up between Calhoun Square and Hide the Bone, but I ended up going with Calhoun Square just because I think it just had that extra element of funkiness to it that Hide the Bone was a little bit more rock oriented. So I was like, this one's kind of pure funk, which I like.
Yeah. You know, you say, you know, going back and forth doing this. I mean, it literally took me, I mean, I got a
exactly.
But I'm narrowing down like, oh, I don't want to take this out. So yeah, it's really, it's hard to just pick one, but that is definitely a great one. I mean, you know, everybody's going to have their own list. And if I was to redo, I mean, I could come up with a list and a list and a list and a
exactly.
list. The funk is that great, you know, but yeah, I mean, everybody's entitled to their own, but yeah, that's definitely a good, funky, feel good all the way around. Yeah, that is.
So before we get into our number ones, let's do some notable mentions here that maybe didn't make our official lists, but we're also very awesome funk songs. Okay. So like The Work Part 1, also off of the Rainbow Children.
Every time I watch other people news, I see a false picture of myself, another one of you. They try to tell us what we want, what to believe.
Which is an amazing, like the horns in that are just so good. Like it's such a good song. It just narrowly missed my list. So another one would have been We Can Funk. Which is an obvious one. It seems like an obvious one, but I honestly believe that these other ones are even funkier than We Can Funk, no matter how funky We Can Funk is.
Right.
but like, I love We Can Funk's chorus, you know, I gladly pee in anybody's cup. I laugh every time I sing the words, you know, so it's amazing.
You know, We Can Funk, that's kind of a good example of when he can do different versions of, you know, I mean, he was great at that. He could do something so funky and fast and going and then slow it down and it just be just as amazing. Because like, I love We Can Funk, but the slow version of We Can Funk. So it's like, and it's still funky, you know what I mean? It's just, He's amazing that way. I swear. Yeah, he's definitely amazing that way.
Yeah, you preach it to the choir here.
That,
so,
yeah.
Chelsea Rogers as well.
Chelsea Rogers was a mom, but she really rocked and roll. Yes, she did. Candle tears of real.
Okay, yeah.
Another one that didn't quite make my list, but is definitely up there.
Let's see. One of my okay, you had already said the gold standard earlier. Yes, the gold standard was one of my that I fought to be on the list. Yeah.
Everybody, get ready to move.
Yeah, and funk and roll. Funk.
Finally, beloved, we meet at last. The middle of the year, never mind the past.
Funk and roll.
Oh, funk
yeah.
and roll, of course. Oh, that would have been a good one.
Yeah. So those ones definitely were fighting to be here, you know. So I'm glad I got to mention them.
That's honestly this list was really hard to do, and it was one of those, like, it was super hard because there are so many options throughout his whole career. There were options. So it's time to reveal our number ones. So, all right, let's see what we have here. What is your number one?
Musicology.
Heard about 49 just east of Harlem. Dougie gonna be there, but you got to call him. Even the soldiers need a break sometime. Listen to the groove, y'all. Let it unwind your mind. No intoxication.
Oh, that's mine too.
As it should be. As it should be. Number one funkiest song of all times. Yes, musicology.
It really, really is.
Yes. Okay, besides that it's the funkiest track ever. I mean, it just starts out, I mean, just the whole thing. I mean, I don't know why, like, to give a reason, but to give a feeling. I mean, it's just entitled. It's entitled. Musicology is just, from jump to end, it just doesn't let you down, you know? It just...
Well, I agree with that. And honestly, like, the entire Musicology album, that's like what it was. Like, it was Prince taking you to school, right? And being like, hey, by the way, this is what music sounds like.
Yeah.
You know, like, it was...
share something with you.
Oh, go for it.
I went to the Musicology tour. And these, when you bought a ticket and you came in, this was the CD they gave you when you walked in the door. Cool. Yeah, so it's a little different than the one you buy, but you got this with the ticket. So me and all of my sisters got together, and this is the last time I think we all got together to do something big, but we all got together and went to the Musicology concert. And it was pretty
That is
cool.
awesome.
So funk at its finest. So yeah, live version of anything he does. I mean, I love, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But live version. Yeah. Yeah. Blow your mind.
You know, and it's I don't know, for me, like, Musicology, not just the album, but the song itself was so impactful in his career.
Yes.
Just because it just is. When I have my top 10 screams, right? And I have that video going, and number 10 is Musicology. Like, it has to be on there because he goes, ooh, you know, it's like, it's not technically a scream.
I was waiting for you to do that. Yes. One more time. Come on.
Ooh.
There we go.
I mean, because it's not technically a scream, but like it embodies so much of what Prince is. That little sound, you know.
Right when it starts, that grabs your attention. Yeah,
exactly.
Does that, and then it goes into that bass line. Yeah. Oh, blow my mind. Yes.
I think that Musicology is the king of Prince funk songs, and I'm actually really happy that we both picked it as our number one, because then it would have been, I think it might have been a fight had either of us picked something else. It would have been like, I think mine's much funkier than yours, but but it's definitely an amazing list. So hopefully everybody enjoyed that. And thank you, Peace Love, for being here on the channel
no
and
problem.
doing
Thank you for having me.
top
Yeah,
5
thank
list
you for
with
having
me. Can you tell everybody a little bit about your channel and what will they expect if they come to your channel to check you out?
My channel is, of course, Prince, the music, but of course the message that he was always trying to give to us, you know, the peace, the love, the positivity, the compassion for your fellow man, you know, always, you know, embracing your crazy side, you know, just embracing that and being who you are, you know, that's kind of what I'm about, you know, just different messages that way. I have, like you said, I have some trivia, you know, of course, that's always fun. I have some that are kind of deeper messages. I have a couple that are documentary style. Prince Before the World Knew His Name, which was really neat putting together. And yeah, I have tribute ones. I mean, I don't know. I have a little bit of everything. So yeah, and I'm actually working on 2 new projects right now that I'm excited about. One is going to be on the history of the egg house, but it's a little more in depth than I anticipated. And also one that is going to go from, because we all know about, you know, Prince up till about the age of 7, you know, wrote his first song, started playing. And then we all know where Grand Central started. So I kind of mind filling in from 7 to up into the Grand Central era is what I'm doing. So, but I'm working with somebody really cool, but I'm working on somebody else's time too, and he's really busy. So we're kind of, you know, it's taking a little bit longer, but I know when that's done, it'll be awesome, awesome, awesome. And I've almost hit 1,000 subscribers, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm pretty excited, yeah. It kind of just lets me know that embracing what I'm doing, and I've been shown, you know, even though we were saying earlier how some people can bring negativity, I have been shown a lot of, you know, love and, you know, kind words. So that means a lot too. So it kind of just lets me know that people are enjoying what, you know, what I have to bring to the table.
Exactly. I think the coolest thing about your channel too is it attracts a lot of young people, is what I found. When you've done your Q&A, your live stuff, it's like there's always lots of young kids there, and I love that. I wish that I could get more of them over here, because you know, it's like I've been that kid. You know, I've been that kid that's having to struggle with life and finding Prince and seeing what he can do and like the message. You know, I actually somebody else had just posted a thing on Facebook, and it was like a bunch of the religious symbols, and then it was Prince's symbol, and it said "My Religion," and I was just like, that's kind of interesting, because I've always kind of I've always said that like Prince is kind of like Confucius, because if you know anything about being like Confucius, like he has a whole religion based around, this is just a man who just had lessons to teach. You know, and I don't know, I feel like Prince is somewhat like that man, you know, it's just kind of interesting. Yeah, I agree, totally. So yeah, so anybody, everybody on my channel should go and check out Peace Love. She's awesome, and I've already talked about her a bunch of times as well. So if you you know, haven't listened to me before, now she's here, and you can see how awesome she is. So thank you, I appreciate that. Of course. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. We have lots of other videos that will be coming to you soon. So until then, thank you very much for watching, and may live to see the dawn. See everybody later. Bye.